Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo, and welcome to my scrapbook table. Today's layout is for day 23 of Scraptember, and the prompt for today is diagonal. So I interpreted that as a strong diagonal design, which is what I have created today. Excuse me. I have two photos here of the beginning of the ceremony, and they are going to go on this 49 and market paper. I have some rub-ons. They are from the stone colored collection, which goes nicely with this. I also have this sticker. It's from a Close to My Heart sticker sheet. And at the moment, while I was creating this, I'm thinking this is going to be part of this layout. However, that's not how it turns out. I do like the results of what I ended up with, but it just doesn't go with the layout. So I didn't leave all of the coloring of this sticker. I didn't want it to just be plain white. And I don't know what there's like a light brown around that the image is made in. I'm not sure what color that is. But I pulled out peeled paint and my freshly re-inked speckled egg ink pad and a couple little tiny brushes, and I just dipped the brush in the ink pad, blot it off on a piece of scrap from my trash can, and start coloring in. And they are a little blotchy, but as it dried, that smoothed out quite a bit, and I was really happy with how it turned out. But again, it just didn't work on there, so I put that away. Now I'm going through my bin where I have some things I've been using in this album. I'm thinking I might use some of this specialty paper. They're almost like fibers, but I didn't end up using those. I really liked that embellishment cluster that you saw to the right, but like the other things, I didn't end up using that. So I put a very small gray border around the photos because even though this is a tan and brown collection, there is a dark gray in there. I'm thinking I might use that lace, but again, I do not. It seems to be a theme here, doesn't it? I have some frames and I am going to use those. I decided I wanted some layers behind the photos. I am running out of layers in the collection though that go with it, so I started thinking outside the box a bit. This is just too big for the space I have left, so I start through again and look for some of my smaller ones. This is us. The brown is just wrong for what's going on in the photos and on the background. So I pulled out some of the smaller embellishments that I've made and think about which of those I can use. And I decide on the two that you see on the layout there. And I'm not sure at the moment where I'm going to put those, but those are the two that I end up using on the layout. So I realize right about now, that frame at the top is dimensional. It's like a chipboard frame. So I need to build up the photos so that they're at the same level or height as that frame. So I actually just used some scrap chipboard from another sticker chipboard sheet and put it behind there and filled in the gaps a little bit. And I want to, since there's a frame in the corner of the photo and there's a frame in the bottom cluster, I wanted there to be a frame around this top cluster. And all the frames I have are either too big or too small. So as per my usual, I pick one that's too big, I cut it down and make it work, and it looks just fine. I have the layout in front of me right now, and unless you are really looking for the seam, you don't see it. So I'm happy with that. There was one tiny little gap in the upper left-hand corner. So I just used the scrap that I'm going to cut off, that little corner piece sticking up there, and put some glue and fill in the gap. And it worked out nicely. And I think the frame helps give this small embellishment cluster a little more presence on the page. And it also created that strong diagonal line, top left to bottom right. And I'm happy with how that turned out. Just have to trim a tiny bit off there. If you haven't already, I would encourage you to find the Scrapbook Sisters on YouTube and follow along with Scraptember. There will be a link in the description box below, and you could go back if you haven't already seen lots of the videos. You could go back to the beginning of September and watch some fabulous videos. People are so creative and show such amazing work. So I tucked in a frame, or I'm sorry, a film strip there on the right. And while you won't see me do this online, I do add some rub-ons around that bottom cluster, because as I looked at it after I was done filming, it seemed like there was too, I don't know, I needed something to join the photos to that bottom cluster. So in the still shots, you will see that I added some of those rub-ons that I had out at the beginning. I didn't do any journaling on this layout. I didn't feel that it needed it. It's going to be in sequence in the album, and it will be obvious that this is the beginning of the ceremony. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And here come those still shots. Have a great day, and I hope you get to scrapbook something soon. Bye.